Now, the challenges for President Biden have already begun, and this is fascinating. So you may have heard that according to the BBC, about 7,000 migrants have gathered together in Honduras and Guatemala to go to the border. We're starting this all over again, all right? And they are doing that because they believe Joe Biden is going to practice an open border policy. So according to NBC News, a spokesman for Biden, unidentified, which is what NBC News and the rest of them do, has said to the migrants, this is not a good time to do this. We don't want the first actions of the Biden administration to be 7,000 people crossing into the United States illegally. But what did you think was going to happen? I mean, these people know what Joe Biden has said about illegal immigration. And the enforcement is going to be far less than it was under President Trump. Everybody knows that. All right, but the big thing is that Trump made an agreement with Mexican President Obrador that Trump would not declare the Mexican cartels terror groups in return for Obrador using the Mexican armed forces to stop the caravans. That was the deal. Secret deal, never confirmed by either man, but I know it's true. And that stopped the migration into America by these groups cold. Well, that deal is no longer enforced. Not there anymore. Because Biden would never designate the cartels as terror groups. Not what he does. So now there's no deal. And the people from Central America and Mexico itself can come on up to the border. If they get in, they get in. Now, many of them are readying asylum requests because Joe Biden, his asylum policy is kind of murky. Roll the tape.
We'll have to have a process to ensure everyone's health and safety, including the safety of asylum seekers, hoping for a new start in the United States, free of violence and persecution.
Come on. That's basically, hey, come on. Everybody in the world, not just in Central America. Everybody in the world. Everybody in Hong Kong, right? Everybody there. If you get here, you come in. Joe Biden, come on in. And 5 years from now, maybe we'll get to your case. But in the meantime, you can go and do whatever you want in the USA. That's what he just said. That's what he just said. Hopefully free of persecution. Come on in. So any person in the world can now come into the United States and apply for asylum. Okay, that's number one. Elections have consequences. And for you 80 million plus who voted for Joe Biden, you just voted for chaos. Because when these people come here, and many of them are persecuted, many of them are desperate, almost all of them are poor, the American taxpayer is going to pick it up. You heard Biden in the debate say, I'm going to pay for the health care of all illegal immigrants. Government's going to pay for their health care. As soon as they get here, we're going to be paying all their health care bills. We're going to be paying their food stamps. We're going to be paying their housing. We're going to be paying everything. That'll bankrupt the country. Now, you think I'm being dire? I'm not. I'm realistic. If I were a poor person living anywhere in the world, I'd make damn well sure I got to that Mexican border and got over it, no matter what I had to do. And I'll show up and I ask for asylum and I'm going to get a hearing 5 to 10 years from now. In the meantime, I can live in the USA. Come on. That is exactly what's going to happen. Are you telling me that 80 million American voters did not understand that? I'll tell you, most of them didn't. But you'll see. You'll mark my words right now. In the next 2 years, we are going to be overwhelmed by foreign nationals. And you border states, Arizona, Nevada, You voted for Joe Biden? Wait till you see what's going to happen to your state. Texas, New Mexico, of course. Anyway, all right. In addition to that, Joe Biden wants to give amnesty to 11 million undocumented people already here. All right. So I'm thinking maybe 2-3 million going to come in the next year. And then we got 11 million already here. So 4 people, anonymous sources, told the AP that Biden's going to introduce legislation to legalize at least 11 million undocumented very, very soon. And again, we'll be paying for all of their health care. I'm sitting here as a loyal American, and I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. Because there's nothing to stop this. Biden is not going to enforce the border like Trump did. Not going to make a deal with Obrador to use the Mexican military to stop the caravans. Not going to do it. Because at this juncture in history, the Democratic Party wants as many foreign nationals in this country because most of them will register to vote as Democrats. You've seen the demographic changes in Texas, in Arizona, in Nevada, in California, particularly California. In New York City, where I am, 50% of the workforce in the city is foreign born. 50%. And you wonder why you have no Republican Party? In New York State, it does not exist. It does not exist in California. Texas is the big thing. The Democrats want to turn it blue. And you do that by flooding the state with people sympathetic to the Democratic Party. And I'll be on this like no one will be in this country. I will report to you directly anything that happens in this area.